September 22, 1980, Iraqi forces invade Iran along a 600-mile front. Saddam Hussein expects quick victory. Iran is in chaos after the Islamic Revolution. The military is purged, leadership is incompetent. Iraq will win in weeks. 8 years later, 1 million people are dead. Both countries are economically destroyed. The border is exactly where it started. Nobody won, everyone lost, and the world has mostly forgotten. This is the Iran-Iraq War. The invasion Saddam invades for multiple reasons. Iran is weak after revolution. The Ayatollah Khomeini is exporting Islamic revolution, threatening Iraq's secular government, and Iran has territory Saddam wants, oil-rich areas near the border. Iraq attacks with Soviet-supplied tanks and aircraft. They advance quickly. Iranian forces retreat in disarray. Within weeks, Iraq controls significant Iranian territory. Saddam declares victory. Then everything goes wrong. Iran stabilizes. Revolutionary fervor unites the country. The Ayatollah calls for holy war. Millions volunteer. Iran counterattacks, not with sophisticated tactics, with bodies. Human wave attacks. Iran sends waves of poorly trained troops against Iraqi positions. Teenagers, old men, anyone who can hold a rifle. They attack fortified Iraqi lines in massive frontal assaults. No armor support, minimal artillery, just thousands of soldiers running at machine guns. The casualties are catastrophic. Iranians die by tens of thousands, but the attacks keep coming, wave after wave. Iraq can't sustain the losses either. Killing thousands of attackers doesn't matter if thousands more keep coming. The war becomes World War I style trench warfare. Both sides dig in. Attacks gain a few hundred meters at the cost of thousands of lives. Chemical weapons. Iraq uses chemical weapons extensively. Mustard gas, nerve agents, against Iranian troops and Kurdish civilians. International law prohibits chemical weapons. The world condemns Iraq, then keeps selling them weapons and chemicals. Iran has no chemical weapons initially. They eventually develop their own but use them sparingly. Tens of thousands die from gas attacks. Thousands more suffer permanent injuries. The tanker war. Both sides attack oil tankers in the Gulf. Iran hits ships carrying Iraqi oil. Iraq hits ships carrying Iranian oil. The US Navy protects Kuwaiti tankers reflagged as American ships. In 1988, the USS Vincennes shoots down an Iranian civilian airliner, killing 290 people. The US claims it was mistaken for a fighter jet. The tanker war brings international powers into the conflict. America supports Iraq with intelligence and weapons. The Soviet Union supplies both sides. The grinding stalemate years pass. Millions serve. Hundreds of thousands die. Cities are bombed. Economies collapse. Neither side can win. Iran has more people, but Iraq has better weapons. Every Iranian offensive costs terrible casualties but gains nothing. Every Iraqi defensive victory just sets up the next attack. Child soldiers fight on both sides. Boys as young as 12 sent to the front. In Iran, they're given plastic keys to paradise and told, "Martyrdom is glorious." The war becomes industrialized slaughter, not for territory or resources, just because stopping means admitting it was all for nothing. The end. By 1988, both countries are exhausted. Iran's economy is destroyed. Iraq is bankrupt despite Gulf state loans. Iran accepts Sun ceasefire resolution 598. Khomeini calls it worse than drinking poison, but he accepts. The war ends August 20, 1988. The border returns to pre-war lines. Nothing gained. 1 million dead. Iraq claims victory. Iran claims victory. Both are lying. The aftermath. The Iran-Iraq war creates the conditions for everything that follows. Saddam believes his military is powerful because they fought Iran for 8 years. This confidence leads him to invade Kuwait in 1990. That invasion triggers Gulf War I. Iraq is left with massive debt to Kuwait and Saudi Arabia from war loans. Saddam demands debt forgiveness. They refuse. He invades Kuwait partly to cancel the debt. Iran is isolated internationally. The war pushes Iran toward developing ballistic missiles and eventually nuclear ambitions. The war also empowers Islamic extremism. Iran's revolutionary ideology spreads. Iraq's brutal tactics radicalize populations. Chemical weapons use is normalized. Saddam uses gas against Iranian troops with minimal consequences. Later, he uses it against Iraqi Kurds. The international community barely responds. Closing September 1980, two countries go to war. August 1988, 1 million dead, nothing changed. The Iran-Iraq War is the forgotten conflict of the 20th century. It killed more people than the Korean War. It lasted longer than World War I. It shaped Middle East politics for decades, but most people today have never heard of it. The lesson of the war isn't complex. Conflicts fought for ego and ideology consume everything. Neither Iran nor Iraq achieved their goals. Both countries suffered generational damage. War without purpose kills millions and accomplishes nothing. The Iran-Iraq War proved that conclusively, but the lesson wasn't learned, the region kept fighting, the costs kept mounting, 1 million dead for nothing. Subscribe to Sword and Pen, where military might meets political power.